Dave, let's roll it. Might be nice.
Yeah.
I like it better than
Senor Gomez! Truth don't lie, bro!
Put on the headphones, Mike. You can hear the true. You can hear the song. Oh, Mike does have a magazine. Mike.
Sherry's magazine. He's got my hat on.
Yeah, but we want to all be into this. Let's turn out these lights. It's too bright in here. I'll play a similar chord.
Different inversion.
How about if I play a similar chord?
We should keep going.
I agree.
Let's record into the night.
Let's do another song.
He always struck me as an odd-looking man. You know, he was kind of, I didn't know what to make of him. He reminded me of somebody who came out of an old film from the 1930s, either a Three Stooges movie or a Bowery Boys movie.
He's the kind of guy you picture in a suit, kind of a trashy suit, smoking a cigar, and you know, with a Boulder hat on or something. It's like he's a character.
And his hair was always weird, you know. He'd always do these new weird things with his hair. I don't remember what his hair looked like then, but he and Michelle made a big impression on me at the time. I just thought they were really nice and interesting people. And, you know, because they were from California, we had an instant rapport.
But he was most definitely probably my favorite person in the music industry. I just felt sort of like he always was really just warm and just real normal and real person to me and everything, so.
A kind of person where his spirit and energy would just have a way of overflowing and you know, we would be on the floor laughing when we were hanging out with Gene.
Gene was an enigma. I never knew anybody like him, never figured him out. What I knew of Gene, the Gene I knew was not the Gene that Derry knew, or the Gene that Dan Michaels knew, or the Gene that anybody knew. He revealed different sides of himself to different people.
Much as Gene touched everyone's life, I mean, a lot of us, and me included, I think still don't really know Gene Eugene. I mean, there was a mystery about Gene that you know, he kind of kept to himself.
In this house here, the green room, we've had some tough times financially. And one time the power got shut off.
The Edison bill is pretty heavy duty for running all this equipment.
I came home, the power was off because we hadn't paid the electric bill.
The electric guy, he came to pound upon my door. 354.
He's had his electricity shut off. We sat here under candlelight, wondering if we were going to record.
So it was like $400, which is like, that's a small electric bill here. But we didn't have it, and I knew a bunch of my friends were coming over, and it was going to be real dark.
It's amazing how you can find money that fast if you have a session that day. We just somehow find the money to pay the bill, go down and pay the bill, and then they'd have to call that guy to come back out.
But it's just about the power getting shut off and how much of a bummer it was.
If you listen to any of Gene's records, you would find that the darker his lyrics got, Perfecta being the best example of that, or Dig even, the more intense the spirituality was. It wasn't lessened or diluted, it was that, you know, I know God is God, and I know that what I believe is true because of what I'm going through, and the fact that I know He's still there. It is easy to believe in something when it's not tested. But when it's tested and you're put through the grinder and that faith is still there, that to me, that's what it's all about.
Well, Perfecta is also kind of a weird thing that they don't have. You can't even do it in every. You know, they have like exactas and quinellas. Perfecta is, you know, it's kind of like an ultimate, the ultimate, you know, pick is what that is. You know.
I liked records that Gene did, which is really weird because I can't say that about anybody other than U2. I like their records, you know.
On Perfecta, there's a number of songs that I also loved, and one of them was All Right, knowing that things weren't necessarily working out maybe the way that you wanted them to, but you knew that it was all right. And yet there was kind of a, in Gene's lyric, I felt like there was kind of a twist, like it really wasn't all right.
It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, it's all
I got inside the sort of the themes of Perfecta, and it was a real soul-wrenching experience. It sounded like to me that was being put on tape, and somebody who wasn't pulling any punches with his humanity, with his frailty, with his inconsistency, and those themes and the way that Gene presented them on that record appealed to me and moved me greatly. So when I got the record and spent time with it, I was just completely amazed that he was able to do this, even more amazed that it was being done in the context of contemporary Christian music, which is not necessarily known for that kind of soul-bearing, affirming that kind of soul-bearing approach to making music.
But this is like how amazing Gene was. He was like for Perfecta, all the music was done, you know, and I go, when does this album due? He goes, oh, it's supposed to be done, you know, sometime. I go, so have you done vocals yet? He goes, no, I haven't really written any lyrics yet. The music is done. And he was working on an album, and then like anytime you take a break, he'd like work on the lyrics, and if you read through that, just the lyric sheet on that album, it's just ridiculous.
He would take a long time to write a song because he didn't just want to throw a lyric away.
Lyrics came hard for him. He wasn't what you call prolific, you know, and it took him a while to do a record. He really struggled and agonized over just getting the lyrics done. And so every one was special. I mean, I don't think there were extra songs.
That says a lot about the type of person Gene was.
We were really influenced a lot by Gene's writing, not only lyrically but musically also, and you know, it's really a shame to see that there is going to be a void there where people, I mean, he was so honest with his lyrics, and it was one of those things that was great because it was honest in the sense that he knew that ultimately there is a happy ending in life, but every day is not a happy ending. Sometimes there are things that we go through, and Gene wrote in that way, and I think it reached a lot of people that perhaps maybe I could never reach with my music.
To date, still, he's my favorite lyricist. It was amazing to be able to sing some of those songs, and I think I realized how good they were when he was alive, but I didn't really listen closely until after he died, and I'm still finding new things about how candid and honest he was.
I've never met anyone who was so vitally concerned with the lyrics.
Things didn't even have to make much sense, but they just twisted your inside somehow, and you couldn't help but sort of fall in love with that.
They were on some another level stuff too.
Heck yeah, they were just way ahead of their time. Way ahead.
I like that one song, Dig, that he does.
Oh yeah.
Dig, that was a later
Dig's
one.
heavy.
I heard about Homeboys but never got it, and I heard about a great record called Dig.
Dig was the first one where I was just like, whoa, this guy can really write songs.
There was a season where we were touring endlessly, and we would listen to that record over and over and over. It just was such a special recording. It had so much emotion and passion and music like we had never heard.
Dig is just one of my favorite songs of all time. I just think it's just the perfect marriage of, you know, the right lyric and the right music and just a great vocal.
I had a big idea, I had a crazy eye, I broke the sacred seal, I told a lazy lie. I've had my conscience bent, I've had my patience tried. I've been up in the desert and down by the riverside. Will the eagle fly if the sky's untrue? Do the faithful sigh because they are so few?
Just was so profoundly moved by his ability to be honest and to deal with the darker side of things, but in a way that it was a combination of his voice, his actual physical voice had that sort of mournful tone to it, yet he had a way of writing a melody.
And count the stars to measure time. The earth is hard, the treasure fine. To the sea, I'll wait on my knees.
I love Gene's voice. I mean, I think Gene is probably the most underrated singer that I know, as far as just, you don't really hear a lot of press or accolades about Gene's voice, but man, that guy could sing. He really could sing.
There'll never be another voice like that voice, and it had a certain brokenness to it, an understated sort of passion, you know. Lyrically, he never sort of manipulated people into shedding tears, but you did anyway, because he would sing a line with that voice, and that sort of melancholy, sorrowful thing.
Consult the cards to measure mine. The earth is hard, the treasure fine. To the sea, I'll crawl on my knees and count the stars to measure time. The earth is hard, the treasure fine. To the sea, I'll crawl on my knees. To the sea, the sea, I'll wait on my knees.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Adam again was you know, so much him and the band that you know, it was almost a personal thing. I mean, a lot of Adam Again's records were, you know, the band setting up, playing live, Gene just running the tape machine, and they would just get ideas and start jamming and playing, and you know, magic would come out of that. You know,
it was just second nature to record songs. I mean, some of our songs were just done in one take while we were making them up as we go along. And they turned out to just be great pieces of work.
There always is a deadline, and that's fine. I'll follow the tradition. The audience is ready, got it by the throat. That monumental big decision. It is what it is, what it is.
You know, I just saw this band and I was like, man, this band is good. And they just stood apart from all the other bands. There were some good bands there, you know. But they didn't do, you know, they weren't playing to the crowd or anything like that, or, you know. They just kind of just stood there, and I knew at that point, it's like, these people don't even know what they're missing right now, you know, and they were opening up, they weren't like the headline one like that, and I went and bought that record, and when the Dig record came out, you know, it was just something else.
We saw them in concert, like maybe a year or two before we started doing music.
Yeah, in fact, we were thinking, how do we get on that stage with that guy?
Well, 5 in a room, a live empty tomb, the fear of doing nothing.
Cornerstone was nice because you know, we could tell that people hadn't forgotten about what we, you know, our albums and stuff.
So I guess right after Cornerstone '97, I went down to the green room and we kind of tried to just demo some stuff.
So the first time, skip the A. Stay there. We're just songwriting right now. We're just, our process the last few years has evolved into like where we show up completely unprepared. Okay, let me think of something else up there. Those could be real huge and loud, but that's cool. I like that. But then still, it doesn't have a hook. It's more like a bridge almost. Choke it down. Of course, you'd be like all muted. Everyone has. Well, Greg and I, have a few little riffs or whatever, and we just try to make them into songs. But I think we'll probably have to do about 20 of those in order to get an album out of it, because some of them generally don't pan out. I'm out of parts now.
I think Steve Hindalong from the choir should come up and do a number.
Do you hide away because I just won't feel you? Darling, I'm touching you now. I just don't know how to be near you. Baby, come close. Summer is winter. Flowers wither, stars fade. When you hide away, when you hide your eyes, love, skies above become gray. When you turn away, when you hide away. What is this? A season of bliss, betrayal and sorrow. Darling, I'm holding on tight. Save us tonight, love me tomorrow.